is from Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. It's a very famous hadith, and we have discussed it, but some aspect very important. We discussed it before with in other reference. عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, Ibn Abbas narrating from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anna Isa alayhi salam, that Isa alayhi salam, قال, he said, إنما الأمور ثلاثة, matters are of three kind. أمر تبين لك رشد, some matter which are very clear to you that they are right. فاتبعه, so follow it. وأمر تبين لك غي, and some matter they are very clear, they are falsehood. فاجتنبه, so if they are very clear, the falsehood is very clear, then you should avoid it. وأمر نختلف فيه, and the matter which are not very clear, difference of opinion. فردُّهُ إلى عالم, so take it to alim. This hadith, and there is another hadith in Imam Bukhari, this is Imam Bayhaqi mentioned, Imam Munziri, Imam Tabarani. But one hadith which is more authentic than this, and Imam Bukhari mentioned, Imam Muslim mentioned, even some ulama says the whole deen are with 3 or 4 ahadith, and one of them is this hadith, which is al-halalu bayyinun wal-haramu bayyinun. Halal is very clear, haram is very clear. Ma baynahuma umurun mushtabihatun, and in between there are some doubtful things. La ya'lamuhunna kathira min an-nas, many people don't know the hukum of these doubtful things. So faman ittaqa shubhat istabra li dinihi wa 'irdihi, so whoever avoided it, he completed and purified his deen and his honor. The hadith is long, even in Bukhari. Allah inna fil jasadi mudghatun is also part of it. When the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the heart condition, that there is a piece of flesh in your body. If it is corrupted, the whole body is corrupted. If it is healthy, the whole body is healthy. But I'm not going to this part of it. This first part, that there are something very clear. What is halal, what is haram. Quran very clearly mentioned. Hadith Mubarakah very clearly mentioned. No doubt about it, no ambiguity about it. But the umurul mushtabihat, the things which are doubtful, the ulama says even the doubtful thing, they are of 3 kinds. First one, then the ulama says, the doubtful which are 3 kinds, ala salasati aqsamin. One is halalun fashakkun fi tahrimihi. Actually they are halal. They are halal, and you have a doubt of the tahrim of this. Actually the act is halal, but you are doubtful about it. And the example which the ulama repeatedly mention, I'm mentioning the same example of the ulama and the muhaddiseen. They say Abdullah bin Zayd radiyallahu ta'ala, because this is hadith number 137, Imam Bukhari mentioned, Imam Muslim mentioned, Imam Nasai, hadith number 160. Shukiya ila nabiyya, a person complained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, "Ar-rajulu yajidu shay'a fi salatihi." The person feel that he released air during salat. Means he feel. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La yansarif hatta yajidu riha aw yasma'u sawtan." He said, then just because you feel you release air, don't break your salat. You carry on your salat until yajidu rihan, you smell something, aw yasma'u sawtan, or you hear some sound. If the sound you hear, then it is confirmed that something happened. If the smell, otherwise just because of doubt, you can't just keep breaking your salat. Some people mentally very confused, and this is called the mental level of some people. They are always on the shak, whether they're at 2 rakat, they're at 3 rakat, they're at 4 rakat, they're at what's happened to them. So in this the ulama says that you can't do this. If this is becoming, if first time happening to you, then just give a doubt, credibility to the doubt if first time is happening. But if this keep happening to you, that wherever you are more sure that this is 3rd rakat, then you have to follow the 3rd one. If you are sure no, this is 4th rakat, then follow. Even if it's not, your salat will be accepted. Because you can't run after your doubt all the time. The same is the Sahabi says, sometimes I feel that I release air, so it definitely breaks salat. The Prophet says, just you feel it, but there are some evidence of these things. Otherwise, you will be keep breaking your salat and keep doing wuzu and coming back for salat. This, based on this hadith, they said that if something is halal, but you are doubtful that it's become haram for you, like reading salat with wuzu is a right way, but without wuzu it is haram, you become doubtful. And then the ulama give the example that sometimes the people, they are talking to their wives, and sometimes they think, this word, it might be kind of talaq, whether she is my wife or not. Sometimes they are doing, so these kind of things, which is daily routine is happening, they said these kind of things are baseless, these are mubah, unless you have the clear evidence that something happened. It's not just because you think that, I think this word might have this might, with this might we destroyed half of the house. So these things are not, these are mubah. The second thing they mentioned, that something are haram, but you think that it is become halal or not, and you are doubtful. So before was halal, like the reading salat, having your wife, but you are doubtful, you had something, and the opposite of it now. So something is actually haram, but you think it is halal or not. Now the example of this, again the muhaddithin give, again from Bukhari and Muslim, the same hadith, very authentic hadith from Adi bin Hatim radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Bear in your mind that slaughtering animal make the animal halal. I'm talking about the halal animal. Even the halal animal like the chicken, sheep, goat, if you don't slaughter it, eating is haram. Yes? So without slaughtering, animal is haram. So after slaughtering, the animal become halal. So Adi bin Hatim says that, Ya Rasulullah, inni ursilu kalbi muallam. My hunting dog, I send it for prey. فَأَجِدُ مَا عَلَى السَّيْدِ كَلْبًا آخَرَ. I get the prey, I see there is another dog. So now, what is the hukum? Now bear in your mind, kalbe muallam means that the hunting dog, you have taught him how to hunt something for you. So these dogs, when they pray for you, they're getting the prey. It is just like you did slaughter. It is on the hukum of the zabah. It's become halal for you. But ajidu kalban akhar, I have seen the same place another dog with it. I don't know which one, the first for hunting. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, La taqul innama sammayta ala kalbika walam tusamma ala ghairi. When you leaving this dog, I'm not going for the fiqh, I'm more confused, but when you leaving this dog for the shikar, you have to say Bismillah. Like when you are slaughtering, you have to take the name of Allah. When you're leaving this dog to make it halal, you should say the name of Allah. And when this dog hunted for you, it has become halal. So the Prophet said, you send this dog with the name of Allah, but the other dog which you find there, you have not said anything on it. So you don't know which one it did. So because it is not the hukum of the slaughter, so you don't eat it. So now they say the slaughtering is the requirement to make haram halal for you. And now you have a doubt about it, so that's why you don't have to eat it. So these are the two examples the ulama mentioned. The third category, from very beginning you don't know whether it is permissible or not permissible. What shall I do with it? In one thing you clearly know the hukum is halal, but it's become haram or not. Something is very categorically haram, but now it is become halal or not because of your action. But something from very beginning is illicit for you. And the example of this they give from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He marra bi tamratin maskuta, and one day he was walking, and some says in his bed, and some in a hadith says in his house. He find a drop date, khajur. Faqala. Now this khajur was there in the house of the Prophet or in the bed of the Prophet, wherever. There are different wording of the hadith. Faqal, lawla inni akhsha an takuna min as-sadaqa la akaltuha. I don't know whether this date which is here, it dropped by someone, this is from sadaqah or not. If I was sure, I would take it. But I am not sure this date itself is from sadaqah. Bear in your mind, the Prophet ﷺ never used to take sadaqah. Sadaqah for the Prophet ﷺ, and he made it haram for his family as well. So he used to take hadiyah. The gift was halal for the Prophet ﷺ, and sadaqah was not taken by the Prophet and not eaten by the Prophet ﷺ. So he said, I don't know whether this date is from sadaqah or not. So now from very beginning he don't know what is the position of this date. No, the date itself is halal, but the position is not clear whether it's from sadaqah or not. So in this ambiguity, the ulama says that these things you have to leave it. The first thing, you have to take it. The second thing, avoid it. And this thing, you have to leave it because you are not sure about the hukum. But the final thing is, which I indicate in the very beginning hadith, that some people have very sensitivity. And these masail many times come and the people ask, you know, I am doing wuzu, but I don't know I have perfected my wuzu or not. And sometimes the people complain, my daughter or my son, he is in bath, taking 20 minutes, 25 minutes just to do wuzu. And when we go there, he say, what are you doing? He say, I have to do the perfect wuzu. I heard the ulama, if ek bal barabar jagah regi te wuzu nahi hona, if this is happened, if this is happened. So it is going to the level where you can't take it as a masala. It is something goes to the mental level. With this condition, you never have to give a weight or value to these kind of things. And the ulama give some example in this. Let's say there are some water. So the water is capable of purity or not. There are three alamat. Either the taste change, the color change, or its smell. So the water itself doesn't have any color, taste, and smell. So they say the water is there, and you think, pata nahi isme koi kisi ne koi najas cheez na mila di ho, something unpure has not been mixed with it. I doubt about it. And you don't doing wuzu with it. He said, this is waswasa. They called it waswasa. The same, you are wearing the cloth, but you say, I went to the shopping center, the people were drinking alcohol, this and that. I passed many people, I don't know the traces of the alcohol on my cloth or not. He said, these are the waswasa. Regarding your cloth, regarding your drinking, regarding the water. He said, these waswasa is not applied to the hadith that wherever there is a thing doubtful, leave it. And why I'm telling all these things together, that the doubtful thing, that where there is a really evidence of doubt, if there are the real traces of doubt, then this hadith apply, that ma bainahuma umurum mushtabihatun. There are the matter which are really doubtful, which you have evidence. But if it's just your waswasa, you're conscious, and you are just extra conscious about these things, so this is your mental health level is the issue. Is needs doctor, you don't need the imam to tell you the masala. The reason you have to go there and find it out at what's happening, why you are so cautious about all these things, and why you are so much concerned, and why you are so sensitive about these things. So make the difference always whenever you have all my lecture on this. The main message is what? That whenever there is a doubt, but the doubt which has any traces, which has any evidence, then you leave it. But if the doubt is your own waswasa, then you don't have to leave it. Otherwise, the life will become very difficult for you. This is the message from this. The Prophet ﷺ says, there are three things. Something are very clear halal, always take it. Something are very clear haram, always leave it. But something which is doubtful with some evidence, then better to avoid it rather than going to the boundary of haram and getting involved in haram. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم علمنا بما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما إنك أنت العليم الحكيم برحمتك يا أرحم.